Deafin? Oh, sorry about that. Do y'all know if the stream's starting right now, so... Oh, okay. We're live now. My goodness. I can't believe it. We're live. Okay. Now, obviously, you know the deal. I gotta toss out that disclaimer. So, here's the gist. The following podcast is not for children to listen to, okay? Like, the stuff we'll be discussing is, like, explicit crap, like, profanity spewing, and since Germ's here, that's definitely gonna be the case. So, if you're a child and you're watching this stream right now, get out. But other than that, you know, I hope you enjoy.
Between me and Carlos.
All right, everybody can hear you now.
Ronald Ruckus!
Run before it's too late.
Put a long-wooden sticks to shove up Donald's... Okay, I'm not going to stop with that. We're not going to stop with that. I've been watching Kid Icarus. My friend
and we're
anyway.
age restricted.
Damn it.
Welcome to the Insanimators, where we're confined to this NFT. Please get us out.
Help.
Get us out of here! The Board A Club kidnapped us! Get us out of here!
Help.
We're being held hostage by Twitter.
Let
us out! You stupid birds!
Michael! Let me out, Michael!
God, where's the stream phone? I can hear myself in this. Hold on.
Where's the stream going?
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, we're not gonna stop over this.
Okay. So to get introductions out of the way, hi, it's me, Maddox, the goofball, and the guy that pretty much runs this whole group at this point.
Yeah, he's been squished in this little tiny hexagon.
Oh, you being also spacious in your little hexagon, I see.
Yeah, I bought the bigger one, I guess.
You bought the bigger one at probably triple the normal price.
I don't know. It was kind of cheap, I guess, because there's nothing in here except this wallpaper behind me.
I mean, do you talk about the honeycomb, right?
Yeah. Also,
talk
hey,
about
it's me, Luigi Sake, also known as the bunny in this group. Well, the other bunny. There's two. Also, I like art and stuff. And also, we have our guest here.
Hello. Hello, I'm Carlos. I run the Neon Hall Society, and I'm currently creating stuff on my own accord, and I've done some video and audio editing and the occasional voice acting for some of my friends. You may have seen them a few times with Paranoid DJ, Lana, and I've been up to my own accord with some other cool things, including quote unquote Project Anthony, which has been in the works for about 1.5 years now, but I'm finally getting it out. Well, but more on that later.
Damn.
We'll keep going around with the circle and such.
And I know you're the guest and all, and I respect you and your boundaries, but could you kindly speak up, motherfucker?
Okay, first off, enough. Like, tone down the bleeps. And second, well,
sorry.
There's not much to say, to be honest, but I will give as much as I can. So bit of an explanation here. Project Anthony started out as like many has-been fan projects, mostly for fun, and but over time, with the bunch of like other stuff I've been doing left and right, with the comic dubs that I've been constantly figuring out to edit, and getting some voice acting done for other projects, that came and went. Project Anthony was actually left on the back burner for a while, while I was getting my my visual, my audio and video editing skills out there, for my like I said, my other friends that are also in there. Don't mind me, I'm just taking notes too. But yeah, so over time, while I got this, I've also been working on some other with some other fantastic people, including Mad Hattie, Solid McWally of Unrehearsed Studios. I've also worked with Slice of Hell, and I've also done some audio design with my friend Apostle, and have and yeah, I've been everywhere a lot of the time. I've been everywhere, all over the place. But on my own accord, I originally started by creating comic dubs, which started around the same time that Has Been started gaining popularity. And the very first comic that I actually created was part one of Dirty Healings, which is one of the official comics for Has Been Hotel. And and for the time being, if I'm correct, for the time being, I'm pretty sure it was one of the most popular versions of the comic before Paranoid DJ surpassed it with his own version, dubbing the entire comic. And yeah, and since then, I've decided to ride on that train for a bit, to kind of ease my way in to the world of video, and audio editing and voice acting, all in between. One of my most popular ones, if I can bring this up, was Angel Dust and Arachnus with Brotherly Love, which is a comic by Matt Elizabeth where Angel Dust and Arachnus come across each other and argue
Ooh.
in the middle of the road and such. And funny story, it's a funny story here, but as soon as I saw the comments after the video, there were comments on there saying that some of the Italian in there wasn't accurate. And
Damn.
yeah, safe to say that this son of a bitch over here was using Google Translate instead of actual translation software or actual Italian
Damn.
people to get the translation accurate. So there was some flack for that, but
Uh, but even at the same time, I can't help but feel like it'd be weird to just like toss out like a tweet or an announcement or something. It's like, hey, I'm looking for Italians.
yeah,
I'm looking for
yeah,
tennis. Also Mario Luigi.
yeah, okay. But truth be told, like in the world of especially with the world with uploading videos, especially with comic dubs, at the time there were there were so many more channels that were out there. Some of them are actually still open. Like, there was Slice of Hell, there was Has Been Madness, there was a Has Been Fanworks. They're still going on it. Like, they're probably I'm
Yeah.
for the last time I checked, they kind of deviated away from Has Been content. There were some other like channels I've also heard of, um Miraculous Corazon Productions and Crowny VA. They've all gone to their own accords, but I'm pretty sure some of them did dip their toe into Has Been once. Like, even Phantom Savage, because a lot of their content is what wanted me to get to comic dubbing in the first place, especially with the Angel with Has Been Hotel, in which the way I wanted to go for that one. And but bottom line is, when it comes to the world of comic dub, it's not easy, but I've been trying my hardest with what I could when I first started. So the most popular of which was Angel and Arachnus, which currently sits at about 1.5 million views, which was released about 2 years ago now. And
Damn.
I'm pretty sure that video was the reason why I have like around 14,000 subscribers, which is still insane to me. So,
If money wasn't an issue, do you think you'd be able to get that shit animated?
uh, I highly doubt it though, because again, that was still that alone was still around during the time when I was doing all this for fun, and I did not money wasn't that much in mind. But later on, after I started to have a bit of burnout with doing comic dubs, I eventually stumbled upon this goal of mine to actually start creating some original content, And what a way to start it off than with Project Anthony. And the basis of this project in particular is because while there are many AUs and many many dramatizations, fan made dramatizations of Has Been Hotel surrounding Angel Dust, I'm from what I know, I could be I might not have done, like, I'm not sure if there are, but we are probably yet to see some dramatizations that revolve around Angel's backstory. I know there's already one that exists, and which is created by Axel Gear as a spin-off of the Arachnus audio drama series called The Man I Was, which centers around the backstory for Arachnus in this case, and his own take on how he ended up in hell at the same time. So yeah, when and I yeah, so that's out there, and yeah, and a bit of a shout out to Axel Gear out there too for working hard on his stuff too. Um, for me though, I'm wanting to make the approach for this a little bit different, because hold on, I'm trying to. It is my first time on a it's first time on a podcast in a long time. So, but the reason I want to the reason I want to create something like this is because, to be fair, I am trying to deviate away from has-been, and like even though that I'm still in pretty much into the fandom, apart from the stuff that I've been doing from Unrehearsed Studios with Solly. um, this has been in the books for a long time because of trying to accumulate all the money I have for like the past almost 2 years now. I think I've been trying to accumulate money for this project, and so far production has been currently has been significant so far. Matter of fact, when I put out the when I put out the casting call for this, I did not expect like I would usually put out a casting call for like the Alistair comic or the yeah, that's the only I think it's the only one that I did so far. And Dirty Healings in the Alistair comic I would do I would that I would put out so far. I'm sorry if I keep stumbling. I am trying to go through this. I would usually put out a casting call that would get 34 34 likes and 9 retweets and such. But in this case, with a project this big, with the fact that it's paid and the fact that there's going to be it's much bigger than it has been. No pun intended. But so far, for the casting call, from what I've seen, there has been about 149 submissions for 11 of my roles. 73 have followed it, and from the past
Gang.
2 weeks, it's insane still to think about it, because and yeah, like and again this is my first time doing this with a project of this size, and we can tell by the nervousness in my voice. But and to see that I'm actually getting stuff out, like stuff out there and doing stuff like the same stuff that Axel Gear and some of my other friends are doing, is just pretty insane. Because most of the stuff I've done is basically around simple simple fan works I usually did, most of the time. But this is actually legitimate, and I'm actually pretty excited to get this stuff figured out. Now, some of you may be asking, what is the basis of this? What makes this different from the other AUs that are out there? Well, the difference is this AU, this audio drama, aims to recreate and retell the story of Angel Dust before he entered Hell. And in this case, it takes place between the 1930s and the late 1940s, leading up to his eventual death and overdose and death in 1947, which lines up with the current canon that we have for Has Been Hotel. And I'm trying to aim that, trying to like find a way to build up on that character, how Angel is like this, how like with what we know right now, because a lot of this is based off of the actual lore that we have. So, which is why you won't be seeing that many you won't be seeing self inserts. The OCs are going to be are going to be very different, and there's going to be a much different narrative like to what we're usually familiar with a steady balance of angst and comedy at the same time. What I'm aiming for Project Anthony is there is gonna be some dark comedy, but there's also gonna be some serious stuff that in a way helps build the character of Angel Dust over time. Because I mean, Angel Dust has to be himself for a reason. I'm just gonna put that out there, and this project is gonna aim at explaining one by one the building blocks on how Anthony in this case, the title role, how he came to be in the first place, and why he's fucking insane most of the time. And I'm also going to some of the elements that, because Angel Dust was originally a character for Zoophobia and was very different in the early stages of Has Been Hotel. A lot of inspiration from that is also going to be added as a reflection on Vivzi's evolution of the character in a way. So that's also going to be added as well, because those are going to be other influences too. So I mean, so for me, Project Anthony is a reflection on Angel Dust, the character itself, and at the same time as it is trying to be an attempt to retell the story on how he became the character in the first place, canonically. So, so even though it is an AU, it's also an attempt to retell the story of Anthony, that's what it is. And so far, we currently have. Have I been speaking for 90% of the time?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, like we're letting you because you are our
Yeah.
guest, and we're kind of letting you be able to explain to these people what your story is all about, so that we can get it out there, so that more people can follow us. Be like, this guy's cool. I want to support his project.
Come on. Okay.
But
But
why
yeah,
does it sound like mafia guy?
yeah.
Meanwhile, through this whole thing, I've just been messing with Gerb Sprite, so he's like walking around in the background.
What are you doing with germs?
Keep an eye
What?
on the actual stream.
Oh my
Jesus!
god, he's turning around. I see now.
Does he know the camera's rolling? He's walking around like he's lost in a Walmart.
It's-
Actually,
oh, he's gone now.
wait.
What did I do? Oh, damn it! Oh,
You scared the
Sure.
gator.
It's not my fault. I scared the. Oh, welcome back.
Jim, are you still alive
Hello?
with us?
Am I having
Okay.
audio issues or something?
You
I swear to
probably
God.
are, because like if you were
No,
speaking
but-
the whole
Did you guys
time,
hear
we
me
could
say
not
the
hear.
same thing? Oh my fucking God! Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
All right, tell
I
us.
really
tell
hope
us.
you
Okay.
Tell us.
Calm down.
How long?
I was going full fucking Cuban saying, what the fuck? Am I not gonna have an intro? Shouting for like a good 10 minutes. I'm like, why the hell you guys were not listening to me? You fucking jackasses. You could have said something. Saying, hey, Durham, why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? No, nothing. Silence. Nada. Zilch. Nothing. Why didn't you say anything? You asshole. You piece of shit. You could have said something with nothing. Anyways, continue.
No,
I mean,
real quick, please.
I have a
Jared,
question.
please
Who are you?
Introduce yourself.
How about you shit out a brick and let me throw it at you? Jesus. Fuck you.
Okay,
Fuck your introduction.
Okay, Pendejo, tell us who you are.
Are you talking to Gator?
I'm your worst fucking
Yeah.
nightmare if you don't watch your fucking mouth. I hate you. You are. Why didn't you say anything?
But because we didn't know, we thought you were AFK or something.
No, I'm still here. That's something.
Okay.
My God.
But this technically
Who
counts
are
as
you
technical
again?
difficulty.
Oh, la madre pinga, Dios mío.
Okay.
Anyways,
Finish,
Carlos, continue.
Finish.
Please.
Finish. Yeah.
I was saying your mom's a whore. That's what I said. Deal with it. Jesus. Anyways.
Damn.
Carlos.
Germ, everybody.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at Chumbawamba. Like, never mind.
Chumbawamba. Okay.
Like,
Okay,
Dude,
Mr. Gator boy, who are you again?
Hello, if you don't know me, if you're not an original viewer, which I doubt any of you are to this point, I am Jerem the Alligator. I am a Twitter artist and Twitter bad take individual, and I say a lot of stupid shit, and I play Daggerfall for 15 hours a day. That's all you
yeah.
need. That's all there is to it.
First CS:GO, then
Change the point there.
Skyrim, now Daggerfall,
It's still in the same series as Skyrim, to be fair.
then Stalker
Yeah.
of Chernobyl.
No. First it was CS. Actually no. First it was BeamNG Drive. Then it was CS. Then it was Stalker. Wait, what was there after Stalker? I think it was Ravenfield. It was for then Ravenfield. Then it was Left 4 Dead, and then it was I'm completely forgetting the order of games I've just completely gotten addicted to. I know Gmod was in there.
All that you need to know is that any game that I'm in, you do not want to partake in.
Oh, absolutely. I've only played CS:GO like 15. Well, not even 15.
Also-
what? 2 hours over the past 2 weeks. Now it's the first time I played in like 4 months.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. Can we continue with our guest?
Yes, please, Carlos.
Yeah, I know. You don't need to introduce me anymore. I know.
Okay.
yeah. So, as I was saying.
Where do we
so-
stop?
Hold on, wait. Where were we? Or okay.
I don't even know. I completely lost track because these fuckers didn't tell me that I was muted.
Because we didn't know. We're not continuing this.
Okay, amigo. Shush.
Okay, so if I may, I'd like to also dive deep and like some of the stuff that I've been doing, like highlight some of the stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah, sure. Talk about it.
So apart from the one-hit wonder that is Angel Arachnus Brotherly Love by Matt Elizabeth, I've also been doing a couple of other stuff as well, with the occasional Among Us comic dubs. But I've also
Oh,
yeah.
Among Us. Dun 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 dun
There-
dun
Now look what
dun
you've done.
Whoa, you sussy baka.
There are
Sorry.
also a couple of other
It's tough.
comic dubs that I'm very fond of, that are also very notable in this channel. Well, from me at least. So a couple of these are Red Smoke and A Day in the Afterlife. We'll start with the former. Red Smoke is a really really interesting but also a very angsty comic. That's the right term for this, angsty. It's a very angsty comic which revolves around Angel's complicated relationship with his boss Valentino, in which I both voiced the two fuckers. So so in this case, so trigger warning. There are some mentions of abuse of all kinds, but I won't go much into it. But so Red Smoke is Red Smoke recounts an incident where Angel Dust ends up rebelling against Valentino and ends up getting it. Yeah, I don't think I want to explain it, to be honest. But yeah, it's a very angsty comic. A lot of crazy shit happens, and Raphael was the original author of this comic of the comic in question, who happened to have done some animatic work for the Attic music video that Silverhound did with Vivzy Pop, and so yeah, and so Raphael actually liked the comic on both versions of it, and what I mean by both versions is that the original version that I had in mind was way too graphic for me to actually print out, so I decided to dumb it down a bit for Halloween. But but let me tell you, if you guys ever come across Red Smoke, you are in for a ride. And production wise, it was a pain in the ass to get the editing figured out, because if you compare the original pages of the comic to the one that I did, there was a lot of painstaking detail that I had to put out to get
I
it done.
think I remember you like sometimes stream your progress in the server. I think I remember you working on something like that.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to especially when it comes to Red Smoke, because from my experience, Red Smoke was the hardest to produce and edit, but to voice, not just for like the content in general, the angsty content in general, but also the way I had to painstakingly edit every fucking frame and every speech bubble in order to get it right and such. But
yeah,
I said this the last.
Go on.
The last time I talked about about this in detail was when I was in the Happy Hotel Dubs live stream with Dirk and the others, and I was about to tease the next comic dub, which I'm about to talk about later. But yeah, that's the thing, and that's the reason why I've been kind of staying away from making comic dubs, to be honest, and and the fact that I had to, like, the channel was going to be originally called Loud Players. I will also bring that up, but with the amount of with the practical the practical what's that word I'm looking for? What's that word I'm looking, circumstances, the practical circumstances, involving, uploading stuff, of that volume, no pun intended, but
Stop with the puns!
I can't stop.
He can't
And I
stop.
won't stop.
He won't stop. Miley Cyrus.
I was
Yeah.
going to
stop.
Yeah, but like, all in all, the Loud Players branding has been discarded, and I rebranded myself as a Neon Hall Society. I've decided that comic dubs are not my forte anymore because of how too much effort I put in, and the amount of overdoing of production I usually do, especially with some of the stuff that I've done for Paranoid DJ and Lana at the same time, which I will be honest, they were worth it in the end. But when it comes to doing this stuff on this scale, I tend to overdo the editing. That's the issue, which is why I wanted to.
You shouldn't listen to these guys bitching about whenever I overwork myself working on thumbnails or something close to that. They get on my ass about-
I have a gun, mister. I have a gun.
They get on my keister about overworking myself in terms of art, and I understand that, but man, I stopped caring about my mental health a good while ago. I care too much about helping others. Like, it's just come to that point, It's like, if I can make someone happy, then, well, I'm gonna be happy.
Of course.
No! No!
What is it?
Fucking no!
But my friend, you're
What
making me
happened?
sad to hear that. You're overdoing yourself.
I think it's just what I said that drove him to
No!
drama.
My shirt is broken.
Drama queen.
I'm a shirtless scaly.
Drama
but you're wearing a vest right now.
I am lacking a shirt and I am a woman. No.
That just sounds so weird out of context.
Yeah, I'm shirtless and I'm a woman. Okay.
just in the most manly tone. I don't have a shirt, and I am a woman.
Okay.
I don't have a shirt, and I am a woman.
Oh God, no! Do not bring Kermit into this. I swear to God.
Okay, can we move on?
Kermit, what the
please?
fuck, man?
Let's kind of move on. Let's.
Okay, let's go back to the.
You gotta remember.
wanna-
I should have forewarned you about the chaos that ensues in this.
Yeah, and I don't want people getting the wrong idea either. So. Like,
I mean, yeah. Germ is the chaos. Not.
Yeah, the chaotic one, obviously. And I thought
That's
that was
good.
the only one. So, but yeah, so the next comic dub that I will also like to bring up is a very giant one also as well. Apart from Red Smoke, which is called A Day in the
Ooh.
Afterlife, which is the second official comic that was released by Spindle Horse, and canon to the Hasbin Hotel universe. So, which centers around the daily lifestyle of everyone's favorite radio demon, Alistair. And it was a
Ooh.
very big undertaking of this project. It also took several months to do so, as it usually does with my usual work process when it comes to comic dubs. Some of you may be familiar with a few of these. Captain Doofkin and Corey Wilder, who did
I do know
really
Corey.
fantastic with the roles with this. So yeah.
Met him a couple times.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Corey Wilder is actually a moment. I'm really happy for him. But he also managed to voice Alistair after winning the casting call for Hasbin Hotel, and he's done a fantastic job for this.
Ooh.
He's done a fantastic job as Alistair for A Day in the Afterlife, and like the editing for this, in my opinion, I'm really impressed with, and I feel really prideful of. When it comes to the rest of the comic dubs on my channel, because of and holy shit, because whenever I look back at the amount of effort I put into this shit, I always just look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
I was actually thinking the same thing.
But
I really wanted, dude, Carlos, you have no idea how much I wanted to just interrupt and go like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
But is there links that people can visit to take a look at these dubs?
Oh yeah, just search up Carlos Savan. That's it.
You can, if you're in the stream, and you have an account, then you can just post it there if you want to.
Yeah. You can also check out my website. Everything
let's
is there.
see.
I also have a demo reel, which is really outdated. I'll probably have to update it sometime soon. I also have an audio and video reel, which contains a lot of examples of some of the video and audio and video design that I did, as well as some tidbits of voice acting I also do. So it's also on the website, carlossavan.card.co. Yeah, you can check it out there.
So, if I may ask, and sorry if you
Ass.
unintentionally answered this already, what's kind of inspired you to do all this kind of stuff? Like, what's been your main drive behind wanting to create all this stuff?
Well, like I said, I usually do it for fun. Right before I found out that these talents that I have can actually be used for a much bigger purpose, which is why I'm getting Project Anthony done in the first place. And yeah, like if there's any other motives for me to get this done, you can check it out. When it comes to comic dubbing, there were
if I may
channels
ask,
like
and
Miraculous
sorry
Corazon and
if
Phantom
you
Savage,
unintentionally
and a
answered this
giant
already,
of the Hasbin community.
what's
that
kind
are
of
doing comic
inspired
dubs
you
that I
to
really
do all
admire.
this?
I actually looked up to Paranoid DJ before I got to edit for him, for the Prank Too Far comic that I did with Meg, and yeah, it's been when it comes to motivation to do this, it's honestly I just feel like I'm at home with this. Whenever I'm in these types of bubbles, when it comes to comic dubbing or voice acting or editing, like anything that is akin to the stuff that I'm usually familiar with, I feel like I'm at home because I feel like I belong here, and because yeah, it just feels right, that I want to do this.
Yeah,
I guess
I can understand that.
I guess
Like that's how like it was for me when I approached doing art stuff. Now I'm not by any means doing this in any professional manner. This is very much like something that I do sporadically, to put it very mildly. Like I do it very sporadically, and I normally just do it for other people. But it's also like it's a good outlet to just do, and it's kind of like whenever I can converse with people who are in that community, it just feels nice to be a part of that kind of thing, Like I spend a decent amount of time with my art, not like as much as certain people, Mason.
Who are you talking about?
But I do spend like a good amount of time on it. And it's one of those things where it's like as I work on it, it just feels nice. It doesn't feel like. Yeah, I did. Now, could you get out of the room because I'm in a call right now? It's at front. No, could you go, please? Yes, this is the front door. Because I'm in a call. No, like, Jesus Christ, let's go. Oh my God. I said this is the kind of stuff that I gotta deal with every day. Yeah.
The use of the Gator.
Yeah, it's very usual at this point. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, sometimes it's like loud also, I'm guessing.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry about that. I can't control that kind of stuff.
And it's okay.
But yeah, it's like doing.
Like,
what?
I think it's
Gator.
My man just died. Oh, there he is. Welcome
Gator,
back.
you good?
What the
Germ, are you back?
Your phone. You just like DC'd for a brief moment before you got into saying anything.
What the
so dies.
Anyways, before I
what
get
are you gonna
interrupted
say?
again, it's nice to have an outlet, and then it just feels like you belong in that outlet. Like, or you just feel like you're right at home when you involve yourself in that kind of thing. So I can get how you feel with that kind of thing.
Like, it's like, the question I did want to ask regarding you feeling at home and all that stuff, it's like, any tips, like to how someone can stay with that motivation, or how they can gain that motivation to do something of that nature, or just do what they want to do, what they love?
I would usually say, like, sign this off, like, you do what you love, but at the same time, a word of advice from me. There's only a matter of time until you feel like, that your powers that you have can be used for something even greater. Like, this may sound like a half-ass
Evil.
This may sound like a half-ass motivational speech, but like, I'll just say this off the top of my head. For me, when it came to comic dubbing, like, I did learn a lot of skills, when it pertains, there were some skills that I've obtained with video editing, that like bits and pieces of video editing and audio editing and voice acting all at the same time. And like, if I can stand up for this. Shit, I never mind. I don't know what to say. All I can say is do what you can, and never go too, like, there is no such thing as a as going too far with it, unless there's negative outcomes of it. That's all I can say.
Yep.
Always do what you love with good intentions. That's what you do.
Yep.
Never apologize for them. As long as what you believe in is good, and as long as there's people that stand by you and got your back at the same time, then you're doing nothing wrong. You're doing what you love, and you keep going on with it. That's all I can say.
That's how the saying goes, like, do what you love, do the job you love, and you never have to work a day in your life.
Do what you love, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
And Disney now has this streak. Thanks a lot.
I didn't sing it. I just said it.
It don't matter, man. You can look at a cloud that looks like Mickey Mouse, and it'll be followed up with a cease and desist.
Disney, dig up. Disney.
I know where you got that from. You
Disney.
Defrost. Disney. Shout out to Kid Icarus. Anyways, but
shout out to Disney Dork.
And Haley, our friend Haley. So yeah.
Shout out to the lawyer I'll probably be talking to from Disney.
Shout out to Lord.
Lawyer, you ain't gonna need a lawyer. You're gonna need You're gonna need community service.
For some reason, I thought Germ said the Lord instead of a lawyer.
He needs the Lord. He doesn't need a lawyer. He needs the Lord.
I mean, what Disney's probably doing to me, I probably wouldn't need that. Yeah.
To spare you from Disney's wrath.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Saying all this is.
Yeah, like...
Carlos is looking
Insanimators.
Carlos is looking at us like, you are all crazy people. Why did I agree to this?
He's
No
just
shit.
like his head's like facing like he's grabbing his hair, just like staring down at his desk. What am I doing here?
Why am I here just to suffer?
Why are we all still here?
Body of lust.
Bruh.
So
Why
back on
we
the whole
here?
Project Anthony. So obviously you sent out a casting call for that and whatnot. Can you let us know of like what's the current like member count? Like sound designers, voice actors, whatnot.
I can't quite
The
say
cast
much of it
count?
yet because but I will say this. I mean, production has been a bit production is it was a bit slow at first, but it is slowly picking up speed, and we're almost there. We're getting the cast figured out, the casting crew figured out for this, and I will say this: there's going to be about 3 separate acts for this. We're currently going to be working on Act 1 first. They'll all be released in different times, probably around next year in 2023, or hopefully before Christmas. As hopefully soon before Christmas, although that might be unlikely if we who knows. But yeah. Act 1 is going to be the first one, which will center around, what Angel was like, back during the days of when he was at his prime. Act 2 and 3 are going to explore how he got there in the first place and how he ended up in his downfall and his descent into hell, along with a few other twists and turns along the way, as well as a few yeah. And I will say this, it is going to be very different from some of the other audio dramas you see, including especially it's going to be very different from a.
What?
You're like you gotta realize you ain't got no echo cancellation.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me?
Yes, we can hear what you've been doing.
What are you doing in the corner?
I swear to God, it's on. Hang on. Yeah, it's on. It is on.
And yet it was still able to pick up
on.
whatever you were doing.
Turn on, don't turn off. Jimmy's trying to turn on the freaking echo cancellation.
Whatever it was, I hope you have your door locked.
You hear it now?
I mean, for now, yes. Well, I mean, like hearing you, yes.
For now.
Right now, don't hear anything else.
Okay, good.
But anyway, Carlos, please
Because
continue.
I have it on. Fuck, Discord. Sorry.
So anyway, as I was saying, so like many other AUs and audio dramas of fan-made has-been works, like Has-Been Hotel fan creations, or I don't know how to phrase it, like Has-Been fan creations. Yeah, I'll go for that. So like the difference between that is gonna be a lot higher production for this one. I mean, I'm gonna be doing most of the audio design for this, obviously, but I did put out a casting call for obvious reasons. I do want to give other VAs a chance to shine that haven't been heard of before, as well as like a different taste into the insight, but like with that element of familiarity you would usually hear with Has-Been, both fanon and canon at the same time. So, but also with its own take, with the fact that because it is a retelling of what Angel Dust did before he ended up in the afterlife. So in a way, it's a prelude. This entire thing, all 3 acts are one giant prelude to the current events of Has-Been Hotel that we know at the moment. And in the case that Has-Been Hotel does get Has-Been Hotel, the A24 and Vixie's Has-Been Hotel gets released, I most likely am going to find a way to like incorporate elements of that into the show as well. And there is going to be an eventual scenario where they do end up retelling the story of Angel Dust in their own accord. If they do that, I might as well I'll probably find a way to like work around that as well. Like, try to like adjust elements of the story. I might have to like, tone down like certain like major plot points, which
or you're going to be actually dead on accurate with your origin story.
Yeah, like
it would be funny.
That's what I want to say. If I do end up finishing this before the official show retells them, and I mean, I don't want to jinx it by any means, but if I end up finishing the story and the official Has-Been Hotel like series actually has a similar story onto that,
you're gonna sue.
am getting. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna sue. I'm gonna get the tarot cards and start reading the shit out of them. I don't want to sound egotistical like this, though. I hate it, but
I risk my mind.
I mean, if you're flagrant about it, you're allowed to be flagrant about it.
Yeah, like Yeah, but like that's the thing though. Like regardless of what happens in the official one, I'll find a way to integrate that with Project Anthony at the same time. So Yeah.
This man already here writing
So-
acts 1 through 3. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to see how 6 through 10 is gonna end for me.
Oof. Well, don't
So
worry.
considering the lack of information about Angel, like as a character, well, with any of the characters and hasn't really, but Angel specifically.
Yeah.
What did you guys base him off of? Like, is there like a character basis behind Anthony? Like, I'm separating. Obviously, I'm separating. I know they're two different beings, I guess you could say, between Angel and Anthony.
Be the
But
same person, but like yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean. But like, who did you base him off of? Like, with how he behaves, in your story.
I usually base like a lot of them was like based off of some of the bits and pieces that Vivzy has hinted at. Vivzy and the creators of Hazbin Hotel have hinted at with pertaining to the character itself, including elements of the prelude, elements of pre Hazbin Hotel Angel Dust when he was in the Suphobia days, which I'm also going to integrate. Like I said, also going to integrate parts of it into for Project Anthony. Because this is also a reflection on the creation of Angel Dust as a whole, as it is an attempt to recreate the backstory for Angel Dust. So if by any means most of the development that I have for this version of Angel Dust / Anthony is based off of some like the community surrounding the character and the official canon elements that we have at the moment so far. It's based off of a reflection of Anthony, of Angel Dust himself, within the community.
And will something like this develop over time? Like, say, if you're still in like the development process and the series comes out and we get more of information regarding the personality of Angel Dust and Arachnus?
Like I said, I'll try my way to integrate. I'll try to integrate both elements of it into from the official elements of the show into the unofficial elements of Project Anthony at the same time. So.
Yeah, like I can't see. I honestly can't see myself doing something like that. Just like working around an existing series, like adapting with it, because like it's like because I usually like to stick to one idea and roll with it and kind of grow it along. So having to like incorporate like the different elements of modern time and put that in, it would just, for me, it would be confusing, and it also like it would be a struggle for me to try and incorporate that into like existing stories.
I mean, with that kind of thing. Sorry.
Yeah, you do make a point. Like and then if that is the case, I'll probably just like because again, it is labeled as an AU, so it'll be just another makeshift.
Yeah, so like it's kind of why I gave up on. It's kind of like why I gave up on trying to stay in Vivzy's already existing universe and decided to just go out and say, "Fuck it, I'm making my own."
Yeah,
I tried to avoid doing it, but I was just like, might as well.
It's kind of like you have like with a comic universe. They have their own different universe. In this case, you might as well just make like a Project Anthony. Might as well like be like a different universe parallel to the one that Vivzy has. Like kind of like how DC and Marvel have their own all have different variations of Batman and Spider-Man at the same time. So
the new 52.
Batman who laughs.
It's probably gonna be the best way to do it because if you're gonna like make a story and try and or if you're gonna like make your own story, but you also want to base it as best as you can off of the source material, you really need like you need a prospecting mentality. Like the thing with working in this kind of field as like developing alternate universes, but also wanting to base it off of the current universe, is that you need to keep in the back of your mind that there is a good chance that what you made will not run on the same route as the original story, and it could even run like antithetical to it. Like you need to be aware of that kind of thing. So you also need to like have backup plans, or at the very least like be aware of it, so whenever you need to make a change, you can change it without being overwhelmed about it. It's why like you need a prospecting mentality. It's very turbulent in doing this kind of, or there's a good chance it can be extremely turbulent. Like sure, it would be nice if it could the story that you make ends up becoming a lot like, if not almost exactly like the story. In fact, you could even see it as somewhat humbling if you want to. But there is a very like the chances are against you in that kind of aspect. And so you do need a prospecting mentality, so that way, if the story,
backup timeline for what happens.
It's
if,
Yeah.
it's a good
Like a
They-
backup, or be very open to changing the story if you really need to. Like it's why like it's probably for the best to just acknowledge the fact that your story likely won't run parallels with the story, and just have like your own alternate reality, like, and that in no way. Oh, hang on.
What happened? What happened to his mic?
what doesn't happen? Well,
Uh,
well, I guess like while he's doing that, what I was gonna say is like, for me, I find it better to just distance myself from the original story as much as I can, so that I have more wiggle room for my own story. So like I'm able to freely change events or characters and whatnot, so that it fits the plot better. Which is why it's better to like say, you still have the characters from the original show, but that really shouldn't stop you from making your own characters. Like, regardless if they're like alternative versions of said characters or not. Which does bring up the question, is there any into your story, or you're trying to keep it close to the original characters as possible?
In a sense, it could possibly be a mix of both.
Do tell. Unless it's too early to be promoting something like that.
I think we might be too early to present this though, because might be going too deep into this, to be honest.
We're going too deep. We're going
But
we're going too far down the rabbit hole.
And I appreciate you guys' views on this, but I still stand by my decision to make it as accurate and as true to the original fan on at the same time. And yeah, and like I said, like I do understand there is gonna be an eventuality that there could be some differentiations from the official backstory for Angel Dust and my version of it at the same time. But in a way, I'll probably either A, keep going with mine, B, trying to find a way to integrate that with what I have, or C, just probably try to mix both, which is really risky.
It's
but
really just all about adapting to the scenario. Like I'd say, regardless on what type of story you're working on, like because sometimes, like take it from me, and of course take it from Carlos for those watching. Like sometimes the ideas you have in your brain, they don't always work.
Yep.
Sometimes you gotta trim some corners, like trim the fat, cut some corners, in order to make the puzzle pieces fit.
Hold on. The audio went out for a second. What did you say?
I just kind of said more or less just like there are some, like, keep in mind that like this isn't just to what I from experience, but also like to the audience, that some ideas don't work. You'll have to trim some, add some, just so you can make the puzzle pieces fit together.
Of course.
And obviously another question that seems too early to be asking, but if, big old if, your project starts making some major headway, which I'm confident that it will. Like, what's your thoughts on it making profit?
Making profit though, this is gonna be like a short-term thing. There is only gonna be 3 acts for this, but when it comes to profit, we're definitely probably am gonna be needing it to produce the next 2 acts for this. So I'm most likely there is gonna be a Patreon opening for Project Anthony. That'll be established after the completion of Act 1, because the first act was created out of my own pocket, with that I've accumulated from the past 2 years now. So that's but most likely with how, because we're trying to go out all of this, because if we're gonna generate enough revenue for Act 2 and Act 3, we got to make the quality for Act 1 as best as we can. So yeah.
I definitely get a feeling Act 3 is going to probably be your biggest work.
Oh yeah. And around the time
I hate to interrupt, but something came up on my end, and I had to kind of bounce, unfortunately.
All right, that's fine.
Sorry, guys.
Take care, Gator. Take care, John.
Yeah.
Take care, boy.
Yeah, see you all around.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good stream, and Carlos, good luck on your project.
No problem. No problem.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there goes our Gator.
There goes Gator.
There goes our
Gator
Gatorade.
boy.
Yeah, you better
Well,
drag him away.
he became a purse.
He became a first.
Gator
Dom
became-
got to him.
Damn it.
It's a healthy relationship between Dom and Germ. They always do this.
Yeah,
Won't judge on that.
Dom constantly makes him into stuff like purse and bags
Boots.
and other stuff. Boots, yeah.
But now, there's something I was gonna ask and then I forgot it. Curse you, brain. So have you any plans to take over the world?
And by any sense, anything that happens after Project Anthony.
Yes, like as soon as you're done, would you have all the experience and knowledge you need to help rule this planet?
Well, I would probably go back. I probably like continue on with my. I'll probably try start because I do have like as crazy as it's a. Sorry, as crazy as it sounds, I do have a bunch of working titles that I have on my USB that I've been working on for the past 5 years, way before I decided to get into comic dubbing and all that stuff. I might get back into doing that and start. I might start finding a way to create my own original project. I might actually start finding. I might try to find an animator somewhere in the indie community to help me with this, and to get those working titles figured out because I've been working on them for like a long time since I was in my teen years, and I want to get that stuff out there as soon as I can as a way to move on from the has-been community as much as it's given to me with in terms of experience and all the friends that I've given for the past 2 years. I do want to start some stuff on my own accord because I do see a lot of stuff happening, with a lot of other indie projects, like including with Fields in the Sky that I have with Solly, or the stuff that Lana has going with Limelight, or more famously what Ashley and Dave have with Farfetched on their end.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of dip my toe in there as well with the whole indie animation thing because I feel like that I do want to make my mark there. I feel that's the right place for me to do so, especially. And I mean, Dave is a writer himself, and he's a co-creator along with Ashley, who is also an animator. I kind of want to do the same thing. I want to find someone that is also an animator and help them, and like provide a story for them that we can create together. Like, yeah, as wishful thinking as it is, that's what I plan to do with what I might plan to do after I finish up Project Anthony for good. So.
I'd say I have maybe several more years before I can work on my own original content, especially if I were to purely focus on the story that I'm still trying to get out of, like, what is like lower than alpha? Like, cause you got alpha, beta, and then the full release. What's lower than alpha?
Pre-alpha?
Pre-alpha. Like I haven't even gotten that thing in pre-alpha, mainly because I'm pretty much doing like all the work that's being worked on right now in terms of the stories. It's just purely me. So
it's really rough.
It's gonna be rough, and also me having severe trust issues.
Damn.
Despite the fact, Carlos, that I told you some of my story ideas. Despite that fact.
I'm gonna beat you some confidence into you.
Yeah, like please do so. I really need to. I really need to, like. I think that's the reason why I kind of joined Discord in the first place, is just so I can like help branch out more. Like ever since COVID happened, like it was getting very lonesome because you couldn't go anywhere, travel was limited, and
yeah,
Discord. Like I decided to say screw it. I'm gonna go Discord. This was like when I first experienced has been. Like, because I first experienced it. I saw some clips of it, and I'm just like, I could be interested in this. So I joined a Has Been fan Discord, and that's of course where I met these idiots.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, and next thing you know, one thing led to another, and we end up making our own podcast, and here we are now, on the brink of death.
Yeah. Started with a server, went to a group chat, and end up with this.
And now it's to the point where I think, if I were to be honest, I think it's the one where we like outgrown outgrown this podcast because we're all out there doing our own thing. But that's a story for another time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So speaking of that original content, because honestly, that was actually the next question I was going to ask you of if there was any original content you were planning on making after Project Anthony.
As far-fetched, no pun intended, as it sounds, I'm thinking of probably making myself an animated mini-series to start off with, or at least a
Ooh.
film. Because I think a miniseries or a movie would be a good place to start off with because of how short it is. Like having a series would be good. I don't have much experience, how an animated how an animated serial format would work. I don't have much knowledge of that, but I from me, what I know, I think a movie or a miniseries would work out best to start off with, because it's like a short story that you can carry along with, as a way for you, as a way of not just proof of concept, but also a proof of work that you've done, to kind of get the ball rolling with what you want to get done with some of your other working titles at the same time. So, or you can extend that, you can make it into a full series and such. So,
And just a question out of nowhere regarding what school subject do you think helped inspire you to kind of do what you're doing now, or at least before?
I don't think I prefer to answer much because I don't think school as much as because some of these working titles I've done were also done in school at this I'm pretty sure a couple of them were written during while I was still in school. I think as a way it didn't do much, I don't think any of the experience I had in school helped me with
You
what
heard
I
it here,
wanted to do.
folks. School's a waste of time.
Yeah, mostly.
Should have told that to my college self.
I was an introvert most of the time, so yeah, I can barely recollect any of that. So
yeah. I can't even begin to talk about my college life because even then, getting an AA degree, I was still confused on what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the end, I just kind of gave up and tried to become a video game streamer. Still hasn't come true yet.
There.
But now it's just now it's to the point where I just want to stream what I want to stream because I feel and that's a keynote right there, people. If you want to go into streaming, there's two ways you can do it. One, you can stream a particular game. You can stream specific games, but obviously, you're not restricted to just video games and stuff. You can stream almost whatever you want. Keyword almost. But really, it's just bottom line: stream what you like. All right, stream what you like to do. If you enjoy that, then you're gonna have a lot more fun doing streams than if you were to do it as a job. It's kind of the reason why a lot of people would want to do streaming is because it's kind of the best thing to do, aside from making YouTube videos.
Exactly, like doing what you love, actually, doing stuff that you really like to do, and as a way of working is, if it's a job, it's the same thing when it's a job that you love. If you like what you're doing, creating when it comes to writing audio drama, if you do what you love as a form of work, then that keeps that work going, and then it keeps the profit up at the same time. And if it's also profitable, then it works. That's how it should be.
But of course, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. You are going to have your bad days. It's just all in the matter of how you deal with it
and get past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I'm kind of basically word vomiting for what Category said when he talks about how he makes his videos. In the end of the day, even though it's something you love, it would still be a job that you would have to do in order to, obviously make profit. However, it would not be something that you would want. There wouldn't be anything else you'd want to do other than that. So, it's all about just knowing the balance.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, got a balance between both work, between having fun and working at the same time. A balance between the two.
Still trying to find that out for me.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Yeah, but I got most of this stuff figured out already. So Yeah.
Nice.
Me at my fucking age, and I'm still trying to get my bearings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like
Nice
really all I'm
enough.
doing right now is just kind of doing the trendy stuff or quote unquote trendy stuff, just so I can kind of get that following up and going, just so like I could start doing more original content. So that people can look at that. It was like, oh wow, he doesn't do like, oh wow, so he doesn't just do has-been stuff. It is a
Yeah.
curse to get. It is a curse to be only known for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I dropped my phone too, just to let him know.
Careful.
Okay.
Phone is somewhere. Where'd you go? Man, I've had this thing for years and it has not even cracked.
Damn.
Thank God for Otter Otter. Not sponsored.
We're not sponsored. Yeah.
We're not sponsored. I mean, we are sponsored, but that's not till the end. Speaking of which, anything else you want to add on, Carlos?
No, I don't think so. I think
Well,
I've talked
I
about
guess
most
we
of the
can.
stuff, so.
I guess we can kind of wrap this up a little bit early. Any like? Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess I want to say, is there any like when a Patreon is set up, where would you post that link?
The link for this will be available on the Neon Hall Society Twitter account. It is the account, however, it will be strictly meant for business only, and anything related to Project Anthony and its affiliates, as well as Unrehearsed Studios, will be posted in correlation with the Neon Hall Society account at the moment. It's tagged on my Twitter, so you can go check it out there, and when you have the time too. So
Yep.
And would that also be the place for, like, say, potential affiliates and sponsors to go to whenever they want to ask about a partnership?
Oh, sure, yes. Well, at the moment, yeah, because the Neon Hall Society is still building up at the moment, which is formerly known as Loud Players. We are still building up our building blocks at the moment for the studio. So at the moment
Yeah.
we are sort of semi-open, but we're still a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
How surprised? Like, I doubt you would be surprised, but how surprised would you be if the partnership that calls you first is fucking Raid Shadow Legends?
Oh my
I'd block their
god.
asses on the spot. I've
You
had
would
enough.
block them on the spot.
I've had fucking enough of
Damn.
that joke. Please stop. No, no Raid Shadow Legends, please.
Oh
Damn.
god, like yeah, it's just like I don't care about the money. I care about my dignity.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, or would that be applicable to any mobile game that reaches out to you?
Well, I'll have to do a background read first of them. Like Raid Shadow Legends is no surprise from here on how overplayed it is. So, but for any other phone game, I'll have to do a background check first. I'll have to look at the reviews and shit, see if it's worth it or not. So,
The advertisements
Oh
they put on
boy.
for some of those mobile games are fake as fuck, but I'm not gonna go on a rant about that. But so
yeah,
let's see.
Imagine being
Let's see a
yeah, the
Patreon.
TTS, yeah, the TTS scripting, the phoned-in lines, and all the crappy gameplay shit. So,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
level 1 to 100 boss, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's garbage.
Well, more is just, and even like the people that like quote unquote play it. Ugh,
Well,
like
all I can say is
I've seen B level actors with better performances.
B level. Uh-huh.
for those that play the game, I have no judgment for them. If they want to play something like that, it's fine. But for me, I'll have to look into it first. But never rate Shadow Legends.
Yep. So let's see. Another
Bruh.
question I wanted to ask. Like,
Sponsorship
obviously,
with honey.
like I mean maybe, but like obviously there's probably not one at the moment. But do you think you
Honey
could
and
give us like
Crush.
maybe an estimated like year or month that we could see more info regarding Project Anthony?
I can't quite say though, but hopefully sometime in the late sometime later nearing the end of this year or around earliest 2023. Hopefully.
Yep.
So
So please, for look on keep an
The
ear
end of
keep
the
an ear
year.
on this man. Not literally though. That'd be gross.
you ever come across
Yeah.
a podcast? Yeah. Just stay tuned for that. It takes time, but yeah, take it from a guy that took so long for like 8 fucking months for part 2 of Dirty Healing. So
Yeah.
Oh god,
I
like
swear to God, I've learned. I'll be quicker with what I can. I won't do crunch time though. Fuck that.
it's just like I think we should all follow how Ashley's handling Farfetch. It's like it'll be out when it's out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whenever it's out. Yeah.
Like I feel like the world will be a much better place when there aren't like tight due dates.
Yeah.
But anyway, so with that, I think we can start wrapping this up. Big thank you to Carlos for partaking in our stream.
Yep, and make sure to follow me on Twitter. Make sure to follow the Neon Hall Society for when we eventually do get our first stuff out. So make sure to stay tuned for that.
His Twitter is
And-
in the description.
As well as the website, and subscribe to my channel. So yeah.
Yep.
I mean the card.
Yep. Like and I want to apologize real quick that it's it is a small cast, but with a lot of stuff going on right now, like this is really all the best we can muster at the moment.
Yeah.
Like hopefully the next episode, which is going to be a game night, which is going to be Dead by Daylight. Whoops, spoilers.
Ooh.
Like hopefully that'll be better. I'm really hoping I could get Meg to join on that.
That'd be cool.
Like I don't know what her take is on play. Like I mean, obviously she's down to play DBD, but I don't know if she'd be down to be on stream playing DBD.
Yeah. Dom is gonna be a really good killer.
He's like Carlos, if you've ever met our Dom in Dead by Daylight, you would be afraid.
No worries. I wouldn't be surprised. I always
have
get caught.
you actually played? Have you actually played with him before?
Not with him, but more like I did play a fair amount of matches with say like Demi and stuff, and I think Meg. Yeah, Meg. But anyway, be sure to follow us on all our socials. We can use the support on that one. And now for the aforementioned affiliate link that we actually have, Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Kastle. They have sponsored us since I think maybe season 2, and basically they said it is a website that sells a whole bunch of like trading card games and DVD.
Yeah, all the nerd stuff.
Yeah, including ones based on your favorite franchises: Stranger Things, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, all of that jazz. If you're interested, we got a site down there below for you to sign up and start buying. And any purchase you make with that using that link, it'll give the Insanimators a bit of kickback.
Yeah, a bit of percentage.
Which is always nice.
Yeah.
But with that, I am Maddox.
Help us out. We're inside these NFT hexagons.
Yeah. SOS, Mayday, 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 Mayday. Help us.
We are the